This all started about 7 years ago. I was working in my normal profession as a financial advisor, investment banker for the White Earth tribe. And they mentioned to me that they had a little satellite office here in Cass Lake, which is about an hour and a half to 2 hours from their service area where their reservation is located. And the Satellite Community Center office services their members who don't receive benefits because they're so far away, and they're technically on another reservation here. So they really sort of fall between the cracks, as it were. Mostly elders and children were just being completely neglected. And that's when I walked into my home church back in Los Angeles, Bel Air Presbyterian, and said, we need to do something in northern Minnesota. And at first they were a little resistant, they just couldn't believe that we had this great of a need in America. Our number one priority has always been the construction projects. It does get to about 50 below in the winter here with snow, and a lot of the Indian folks live in small trailers that are not weatherproofed, and they are usually elderly people living with lots and lots of kids and grandkids and great-grandkids. So what we try to do is make sure we come up in the summer, someone's identified the construction projects.
This is a one-bedroom home on top. Her basement, we took and made 3 bedrooms downstairs. We put some egress windows in so the kids can escape, in case of fire, and then all around the house, every time it rained, it all leaked in there, so we waterproofed it real well. So we had rain here a couple days ago, and this was the first time in years where all the rain and water didn't run into her basement. So it did work what we're doing. So
it creates this incredible sense of community, fellowship. And it's hopefully not once in a lifetime experiences, because what's really amazing about this trip, most people that come here to volunteer, they come back again and come back again.
We do the kids program, which is a vacation Bible school program. They're doing arts and crafts, they're doing sports, and at the end of the week they'll get a big package of donated toys and gifts and clothing and that kind of thing. They also don't get access to priority medical in terms of they have to wait a long time. They're last on the list, and there's overcrowding. So we bring a doctor/nurse up to do physicals and things that are they've been waiting for a long time. I reached out to associate member firms. They reached out to friends, family. I ran into a colleague who had a church that was looking for a mission to get involved with in Connecticut. It was like just coincidence, had nothing to do with where we're located. So we have people, their entire youth group is here from St. Luke's of Darien, Connecticut. Then we found a family in Texas that had some connections to the tribe and had never been here, offered their services. The associate member firms are from Minneapolis, Arizona, Denver, all over the country, California, New York, and they just all come here once a year, and it doesn't have to be any sort of formal invitation. We're looking for anyone and everyone to come help. They're so appreciative, but it's interesting because there's just a lot of, I think, problems in the community on an ongoing basis, and they know that when we come up, we don't bring those political problems where some of us are native, some of us are non-native, and we don't really care what tribe they're from, what their family situation is. We just come up and bring a lot of love and care, and so they're just really, really appreciative. And we get calls during the winter, which is nice, to say we couldn't have made it through the winter if you hadn't done what you did to our home. So it's all very worth it. It's hard for me not to cry when I think about it. My prayer and hope for this mission trip, and it's in God's hands of course, but is that not only can we continue to grow here, we need a lot more resources, a lot more volunteers, a lot more funding, but then I've had some other tribes that have unmet needs that are in similar situations say, boy, it'd be great if we could have a week here too. And the only way to achieve that is to have more volunteers and a larger network, because I can't be in 2 places at once. I try on a regular basis, on a daily basis, but if we could get more resources and more volunteers, it's almost like growing a Habitat for Humanity native version, and being able to do it in different locations around the country would be my dream.